Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam, anandanubhavaswadam, sarvaroga nivarakam, vande papa vinashaktam. Nithyanandaya swagatam, nityamuktam nirvikalpam, dhyanaloka pradipakam, vande shantamayam bandham. Nithyanandaya swagatam, anandagandha sancharam, sarvopadhi vinir.
The main frame of my teaching is this three ajapa ajapa, strong feeling connection and complete unclench. Let's start. Sadaशिवसमारम्भाम् ज्ञानसम्बन्धाचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्.
The last bliss, the ultimate bliss, the final bliss you experience is that space of being a disciple. I tell you, enjoy in itself, don't miss it. I can say is the last bliss you can experience in the inner journey. After this, no more bliss. I tell you, even enlightenment is beyond bliss. There the idea, bliss, joy, suffering, all that disappears. You get into the different spectrum. Of course, I am not saying it is boring. Enlightenment is not a boring spectrum, but there is no bliss as such what you perceive. Even when I get into samadhi, there is no bliss for me inside. But the way the energy expresses, you feel I am in bliss. But inside, the idea of even bliss does not exist. It is something which can't be described, that's it. Just sitting, simply, and listening. Readiness to listen. Understand, it is not a joke. In billions of people on the planet Earth, blessed are those who have the readiness to listen in their heart. Please understand. I am not even saying you should listen to me and all that. I am not even saying being my disciple. I am just saying being a disciple, being a receiver is a joy. Even if you are a disciple of an ordinary stone or a tree, it is okay. It's a joy to be sitting and just melting, listening some words and missing some words, heart melting, eyes pouring, muscles melting like ice cream, the throat choking, hair standing on the end, body losing its feeling of being possessed by ego. See, the joy of receptivity, the reception, receiving, when it is experienced in your biomemory, the body loses the feeling of being possessed. See, all the time you feel your body is being possessed by ego, sitting and not feeling possessed by the ego. See, when your ego possesses your body, your whole body will be stressed, heavy. But when you really sit and melt, the very idea of you being possessed by ego disappears, dissolves. I can say that is the most ultimate auspicious thing you can enjoy in the planet Earth in your whole journey. Because after this, only enlightenment. That will not be a joy or bliss, and you will be in a different spectrum where the enjoyment idea, concept disappears. So understand, if you are sitting in front of the master and feeling your whole muscles are melting like ice cream, and you don't feel being possessed by your ego, the tension, usually it will start from the navel till the throat, like a being possessed by the ego. if you are relaxed from that and your foolish logic is not working, when the tight holding logic relaxes its declaration of power over your body, see that ego constantly declares its power over your body, its power over you, your muscles. When you sit and melt, at least for a few hours, you melt like ice cream. The declaration of the power over your ego relaxes, disappears. I tell you, if you experience that disciplehood, the joy of being receptive, you are tasting the ultimate. Forget about all your desires, all other desires. Anything else will be lower than this. Whether having Miss Universe as your mistress, or largest palace as your house, or having name and fame, or the ultimate powers in your hand, everything will be less than the joy of being a disciple, being receptive, where your muscles are not feeling being possessed by your ego, where even inside your bone marrow you feel the sweetness, restful awareness. Peace without feeling heavy. Peace without brooding over on some worries. Just being a disciple, just melting. Swamiji, I have a question. Arjuna was in deep depression according to the first chapter of the Gita. But by second chapter, his Sahasrara was completely open, as you mentioned. How did this happen so quickly without any sadhana or tapas on his part? Is there a way for us also to progress so fast? Understand? He was completely open to Krishna. His tremendous trust on Krishna. That was something extraordinary. He just got it back. That's it. Nothing else. He just got it back. For a few moments, he also suffered in depression. But, see, falling is not wrong. Never raising is wrong. Never raising again is wrong. Arjuna fell, no doubt. But he got up. Immediately he got up. Stood up. And he doesn't have ego. What I said is true. No. He is ready. See, courage is nothing but ability to put yourself on right track. Power is nothing but ability to put you on right track. Putting yourself on right track, Arjuna never lost that. Arjuna is really a amazing devotee, disciple, in a way even beloved of Krishna. So he never lost that strong feeling connection. So when he got back, immediately his Sahasrara was open, available. So it's like just because you fall into depression once, the whole thing doesn't get lost. And same way, just because you have so many great qualities, it is not that you don't fall into depression. Just because Arjuna had 100 good qualities, that does not mean he never fell into depression. He fell into depression. Just because he fell into depression, it is not that all good qualities are lost. No. So it was a struggle on the journey. But whatever is said and done, Arjuna has a tremendous punya, merit. His whole life is filled with Krishna Leela. Arjuna was also completely filled with Sri Krishna. There was not much empty space. So I wanted all you guys to understand, just because you fall into depression once, it is not that all the good qualities in you goes away. Yes, you fell into depression. That does not mean all the good things have disappeared from you. No. Understand, Arjuna never lost his complete feeling connection. It was covered like a cloud. How the cloud covers the sun? It was covered. Then again it opened. Arjuna is intelligent enough to drop his ego and tell, Sishyasteham, I am your disciple. Please forgive me. I want to learn. I want to know. Arjuna is a powerful being. He is powerful enough to do this job. That is the reason. Immediately in second chapter itself, the Sahasrara opened. Let me tell you, actually when a man has a Vidarka, I see very clearly between me and him like a tunnel of energy. When he comes near me, I know that like a tunnel of energy will be there between him and me. Like a bridge. So when I give, let it happen in you, just like a ball, the energy flows into him. That whenever a person with Vidarka comes around me, it was such a joy to be around that person. It was just joy to be around the person. See, in my whole drama, in my whole Leela, you all enjoy my Shakti. I enjoy your Bhakti. That's the whole Leela. And that's why the whole Leela happens. Whenever the person with... See, Vidarka means having the breadth, broad logic, which accommodates and ready to accept even the things which are not taught to you in the school.
Dial the Avatar. Paramahamsa Nithyananda answers your questions live during the morning satsang every day at 7:30 a.m. IST. We invite you to directly talk to Swamiji and receive his blessings for your life to be filled with bliss and all the auspiciousness. Dial the Avatar at 918027279999, extension 129.
Tell you guys the story of how I myself experienced Vidarka. See, in that Ganesha story, the first thing what happened is, when I heard the story that one saint made Ganesha to eat food, first thing is Darka. When he can make him eat, I can also make him eat. That's Darka. After that, because of regularly in the house, if some kids are not eating, the only thing the elders will do is, they will threaten, hey, I will put you in the well. See, in all Indian houses, they will have a well, open well. And Always they will they will threaten the kids saying, if you don't eat, I'll throw you in the well. That is a usual threatening method. So when I had my first darka, I came back and want to feed the Ganesha, and that fellow is not eating. So the usual same policy, same rule only works. I decided I'll threaten this Ganesha also, like how my grandmother, all the family people will threaten. If some child is not eating, this is the way they will threaten. I'll throw you in the well. There is a huge well in the center of the house. I'll throw you in the house, throw you in the well. That's threatening. Then whatever I heard, that is what will first come. So the first technique I tried, I wanted to threaten the Ganesha also. I'll put you in the well. He's not responding. Then I thought, I'll really put you in the well and show you that I mean what I am saying. Then I had that. They'll use the bucket to fetch water in well. I put him in the bucket and lowered the bucket. When that bucket touches the water, I'll shout from here, hey, I'll really drown you. Then I thought he may not be able to hear. Then there will be funnels to use to pour kerosene. You have seen there will be funnel in Indian villages we will use to pour kerosene. So I took that funnel, that was my loudspeaker first I used. My first loudspeaker. I took that funnel and held it and then started shouting so that you should hear properly. I'll throw you in the well, eat. Of course. Then I realized I did not put the food. I thought maybe after, when he is around near the water, he may change the mind and eat. So I put the food also. Then put him inside. Again 3-4 times I tried. Nothing worked out. And I really did not feel like throwing him in the well. And finally I took him out and I thought, maybe he is not liking my mother's food. And he is not liking the food. Then I went to the temple and got the same food which they offer in the temple and put that food. And I said, hey, your diet is here. Now eat. And again he did not eat. This is kudarka, understand? This is what is kudarka. I was torturing him. One day suddenly, like a click, it happened. Oh God. Nambi, that saint tortured himself, not Ganesha. In my case, I am torturing Ganesha, not myself. So I should look in, change me, only then he will eat. Not torturing him. That click is what I call vidarka. The right logic, the right tune, not even logic, it's beyond logic. The right understanding, that's our exact translation of the vidarka. Right connection beyond logic. So that clicked. Then I decided, yes, I will not eat till you eat. I sat for around 2.5 days. Finally, after 2.5 days, I can't say I felt giddy. I can say kind of a high state, awareness. I fell into that and lost the external consciousness. I saw in the vision, really Ganesha was eating. In the vision, Ganesha was there and he was eating the food. Then just I woke up and opened the eyes and saw there was no food. The food was missing. And it was very strong experience. People sometimes ask me, who knows whether Ganesha ate or some rat came and ate the food when you are in that mood. See, if Ganesha eats, what prasada he will give for me, what he will do to me. He will naturally give me such a joy, ecstasy and bliss. That has happened. Then I know for sure, because this has happened, Ganesha only ate. The prasada, what he will give, has already happened in me. The strong trust, and that strong vidarka, the strong experience, then I know for sure it is Ganesha who ate the food. Vidarka means feeling connected beyond your logic. Just knowing that it is truth by your experience is anubhuti. Knowing it is truth because somebody whom you really feel connected has experienced is vidarka. See, when you have vidarka, all my experiences become your experience even before you go through the whole process. All of you understand? See, having vidarka is almost like a directly downloading all my products and straight away copywriting in your name. Patenting in your name. That's the vidarka. Vidarka means, see, if you don't have vidarka, every product I patented, you need to pay and take it. You need to work for it and then take it. If you have vidarka, it's like a straight download. When you have vidarka, all the experience, all the components of Jivan Mukti I am living, straight away becomes your life-changing or decision-making points. For example, I do not worry because I know eternal time is in front of me. There is no stress. Even if I leave this body, if I want, I can take one more body and come back and do the work. Eternity is there in front of me. This is my experience. In your case, if you don't have vidarka, you need to go through, do the whole work and get this experience, only then you can be stress-free. By the time you will be in graveyard. Because all the components of enlightenment which I am having, for you to work and take, how much time it will take? It will take too much of time. That is why they say that in the Yoga Sutras and all, 12 years of sadhana is needed for any experience. If you don't have vidarka, 12 years is needed. Because it's almost like a paying and buying a software. With vidarka, just because it is my experience, you know, beyond doubt, I know it is truth. Let me be stress-free. Thousands of things, thousands of amazing decisions, which can be taken only by a Jivan Mukta mental setup, can be taken straight away by you, can be lived. You can enjoy all the great major decisions and the joys which comes out of the decisions of an enlightened mind, even before becoming enlightened, just by the vidarka. All of you understand why the vidarka is so important? See, now every day by teaching, by giving you technical knowledge and process, I can initiate you one by one each components of Jivan Mukti. Understand? I can go on like this, transmit component by component by technical knowledge, technique and process initiation like this. But by the time all the components are reproduced, all the components are imbibed, so much of time gets wasted. You can start making the decisions just like an enlightened mind by having simple vidarka. See, when you have vidarka, my experience is your experience. So how I make decisions, how I live, how I radiate, straight away you can start doing. That is what I am saying. Vidarka is almost like a free download. Just directly download and you don't even have to struggle. You know, this is what is truth. Then let us make the decision this way, over. Vidarka makes you live enlightenment without you going through all the process and doing the reinvention. People who do not have vidarka, it's almost like they have to do complete reinvention. See, for example, from the day one, you need to first invent that light, then switch, then cart, then bed, then AC machine, then your car, then your house. You will be in graveyard. If you need to reinvent all these things for your life, if you say, no, I don't believe in anybody, I don't accept anybody, so I am not going to accept what he invented. I am going to reinvent. So I will not bow down to Edison by using his lamp. I will reinvent now. What is going to happen? Nothing. Edison is not going to lose anything. Thomas Alva Edison is not going to lose anything. We will be losing. So vidarka is actually an intelligent game. It is not foolish game. Sometimes the big problem is we think emotional people are fools. No. People who can't have the feeling connection are fools. Because having feeling connection is a different channel. It's like a second channel. Just intellectually analyzing is the first channel. You understand? That any fool can do. See, criticizing and constantly analyzing any fool can do. That you don't need intelligence. But that feeling connection happens only for intelligent people. That's the second channel. So Vidarka reduces lot of your suffering, reduces lot of your struggle, straight away makes lot of things easy for you. The Vidarka is not blind faith. One more thing, understand? It's not blind faith. It's not blind faith. Just beyond logic, you know. Yes, it's right. It's right. It's right. It sounds good. It sounds right. It sounds true. Sometimes you will feel exactly what you always wanted to tell but did not know the right word to tell, I am telling. That is what is the Vidarka feeling. Hey, I always wanted to tell this, but I did not know the right word, he told. That is the Vidarka. Vidarka does the job of using all the benefits of all components of Jivan Mukti without going through all those processes and wasting too much of time. So if you want, see, there are some people who are very adamant, I will make and I will earn and I will live. Then go ahead. There are some people, why waste life unnecessarily? Come on, let's start enjoying. Who cares it is whose wealth? As long as it is around me, it's mine. Go ahead and enjoy. Over. Let us be more practical. So, you should find out whether you are the first category or second category. Who cares whose it is? As long as it makes life rich, joyful, come on, let's enjoy. It's ours. So decide. Deciding based on intelligence. Deciding based on the right understanding. Beyond logic. Actually, it is not even a big process. You just need to have a conscious decision. I am dropping my ego of analyzing. What do you know, first of all, which is right and wrong? First of all, your logic which is telling you right and wrong is cheating you. You don't know. But you go on, no. You don't know me. I don't accept anything so easily. Ramakrishna says very nicely, this crow thinks he is very intelligent and goes around and shouts at everybody, finally comes and eats filth. Now crow thinks he is very intelligent guy. And this fellow will go around and complain about everything, everybody, criticize, finally he comes back and he's a village guy, not polished. And that's why the truth is straight. Ramakrishna, that's what as he says, many times you trust the logic which tells everybody else is a cheat, and finally only that logic cheats you. It can doubt everybody else, but not you, not itself. So it's like keeping a security so that he will protect you from everybody. Finally that fellow kills you. That fellow kills you. That is the way many times we get caught with our own pseudo logic. Solid logic is like a polishing. It is just polishing continuously. Polishing. What will happen when you polish the knife again and again polishing? What will happen? So it will become sharp. That the actual logic by its own very existence, you see, the darka by its very existence will sharpen itself continuously. So naturally it has to become vidarka. Unless you interfere and make it as kudarka, it will simply become vidarka. I tell you, even these 3-4 days, if you guys just sit with darka, simple logic, without kudarka, without negativity, anger, it will grow to vidarka. It will just grow to vidarka. Because by logic by its own logic constantly sharpens itself. Sharpened logic is always vidarka. Sharpened logic leads you to vidarka. So, vidarka takes away many sufferings, many unnecessary practices, practices which are not needed for everybody. Many components of the Jivan Mukti can be transmitted directly into you just through the Vidarka, without even going through all the dramas and all the things necessary for the experience. Even if you feel you don't have Vidarka and you want Vidarka, just create a strong prayer. You will see that the Darka breaks and evolves into Vidarka. It leads to Vidarka. But consciously you need to decide, yes, Vidarka is right and I want that. It has to happen in me. These decisions you need to make. A strong arrogance. I know so many things. I have seen so many things. I know so many gurus. I know so many things. Something kind of are stuck with the self-moral ideas. See, you constantly project to people, I can't be bent so easily. So that you take that as a pride. And now you wanted to say that, now slowly you tell that to yourself and cheat yourself. Hey, I don't bend. Now if you want to bend, your own half part will tell, hey, you are not the guy to bend. Why are you bending? Then live with that fellow, that's all. That's like having wife inside you. So just make this decision that Vidarka is right and I wanted to have, it should happen. That's all. Vidarka is the right word. Means starting with a deep friendliness and connection, feeling connection. The surrender, bhakti and all, let it happen. You don't ask that. You ask only for deep friendly connection. Friendliness and the deep feeling connection.
Nithyananda's Sacred Art Store, a storehouse of spiritual products from the Vedic culture. Find all your needs for a yogic body, Vedic mind, and N living. A one-stop shop for spiritual products and gifts. www.sacredartstore.com or email us at sales@ngalleria.com.
So understand the first truth, having thoughts is not thinking. The second truth, mind is not a thing, it is an action. When you understand these two, the third truth, which is expressed in this sutra, can be understood. He says, the other kind of samadhi, the mental function of clutching with the thought ceases, and only the samskaras that do not cause any disturbance in the inner space remain. This is the third ultimate truth. Please understand. The unclutching happens. The initiation into unclutching. See, when the initiation into unclutching, first time when you unclutch, that experience only, Patanjali calls it as asampranyada samadhi. The first unclutching experience. Beautifully in Ramakrishna's life it happened. Let me describe how Ramakrishna moved from sampranyada samadhi to asampranyada samadhi. And if time permits, I'll explain my own experience. Then you will understand how I moved from sampranyada samadhi to asampranyada samadhi. Ramakrishna was deeply connected to Kali, the form of the Kali. Had all kinds of experience with the Kali's murti, with the deity of the Kali. And it was just, even when you read, I don't know how it would have been to see. It was a romance. It was a pure romance. He was living with the deity, with the Devi. Very powerful connection. He used to keep the small thread near her nose just to check whether she is really breathing. And he says she always used to breathe. And he always saw that thread waving. The thread will be moving with that air, with the prana, with that breathing. Not only this, so many things. Can give you one example of him putting the conch bangle. The bangles made out of conch, if you are from Bengal, you can understand, they will make bangles out of conch. And the Devi is holding the left hand, the head, the severed head of the demon, without breaking the deity, without damaging the deity or the conch or the bangle, he put the bangle for the deity. And the other people asked, how it happened? How can you put it? This bangle cannot go into the hand, because she is holding the sira, the head of the demon. He says, no, I just told her, drop it. She gave it in my hand and I put the bangle. I told her again, please hold it, and she is holding. That's all. The power over the matter, the mind over the matter, the power of his mind over the matter. He was connected to Kali that deeply. He was living in Samprajñāta Samadhi. He was constantly living in Samprajñāta Samadhi. So now it is time, he has to move to the Asamprajñāta Samadhi. And one great monk, Totaburi, he came to the Kali temple. He is an enlightened sannyasi, great Vedanti. Naga means no clothes, no sleep. Their lifestyle will not be like a regular normal human beings. Naga Sampradaya sannyasi, very powerful lifestyle. He comes and initiates Ramakrishna. He says, now it is time for you to experience the next level of samadhi, beyond form. Come on, you need to have that unclutching, the cessation of the mind. What here Patanjali says, pratyayabhyasa purvaha virama, means all the mental function of clutching with the thoughts has to end. See, even if you are clutched with the Kali, it is a mental function. Please understand. Maybe highest level of function, high frequency level of function, but it is a mental function. You can experience in your life sometime, early morning when you are out of dream state, but you are not completely, fully awake. That those few seconds you can see, you want to possess your body, but you can't move your body. You are out of your dream state, but you are not completely awake. That state means in between. You can see those few moments only, suddenly you will try to move your body with force. You will try to jump out and fall out of the bed. Even though it is the high frequency, almost the action's ending, it is an action. There is a clutching with the Kali. So, beautifully, Totaburi says, it is time you go beyond. You have to be initiated into Vedanta. You have to be initiated into next level Samadhi. This guy says, wait, I will go and ask my mother's permission. I will run. He ran. When Ramakrishna came back, he said, yes, my mother told me, I can go for this practice, you can teach me. Totaburi asked, you said you want to take permission from your mother, but you went inside the temple? Ramakrishna says, yes, that is what I meant. She is my mother. I am living with Kali. I asked her now. She said, please take it. Then Totaburi started laughing. Oh God. Totaburi could not understand. Ramakrishna is living with Kali. And he said, all right, I don't want to disturb his faith. It's okay. Let him experience the next level, Samadhi. Then he initiates. He says, now concentrate on the Ajna Chakra and unclutch completely from all your thoughts. Ramakrishna says, I am able to unclutch from all the thoughts, but I am not able to unclutch from Kali's form. I am not able to unclutch from Kali's form. He says, I am stuck. The moment I see her, even the idea to unclutch disappears from me. I am just completely drowned. Sambranyada Samadhi, the first level Samadhi. But the beauty is that Samadhi itself is so powerful, it will lead you to next level. It has to lead you to next level. Totaburi says, no, you have to go beyond. Then Kali, she herself appears and says, my son, don't bother, cut my form with this sword. He says, she gives her own sword. She says, think this as a sword of knowledge and cut my form. You will go beyond my form. Understand? Not being caught in the form is one of the ultimate experience. This has to be understood very beautifully. See, when you lost all other attachments except this form, then you can cut this form and go beyond the form. But our people, first they cut this form. They have all other attachment. And they don't care about all other attachments. I always tell people, drop the form of the gods when you drop all other attachments. But what our people say, no, anyhow we are going to drop that attachment one day, then let us drop now itself. In India we have I have seen when they burn the dead bodies in villages, they will use a big bamboo. After burning the dead body completely, they will throw the stick also into the same fire. But you have to throw that stick into the same fire after burning the dead body. You can't say, anyhow this stick is going to be in the fire, let me throw it now itself. Then how will you burn the dead body? So attachment to the deity or Guru's form or God's form should be used like a stick, bamboo stick, to burn the attachment with all other forms. Everything else is burned. Then in that same fire, this form also, this attachment also should be thrown. Kali says, cut my form and go beyond. This is what Buddha means when he says, when you see me on the path, kill me. Buddha says very clearly, when you see me on the path, kill me. Understand? But that should be last thing. But unfortunately we start doing that first. No. That should be the last thing. And story says, when Ramakrishna visualized sword as his knowledge and cut the form, and he just disappeared into the next level of samadhi, asambranyada samadhi, where the cessation, what Patanjali describes, the cessation of the clutching with any mental function started happening. Please understand. The mental function of clutching with the thought ceases. It just ceased. It just disappeared. The first experience of unclutching has happened to Ramakrishna when he went beyond the Kali's form. Only if you feel connected to some form and live with that form, then you are asked to renounce, you will understand how difficult it is. You may not be able to relate with what I am saying. You may be thinking, oh, what is there, Kali? And after all, for enlightenment, everything, let's cut and throw it away and go beyond. No, it does not happen when you start feeling connected. You are feeling connected, living with it, but you are able to go beyond. And the story says he entered into next level samadhi, asambranyada samadhi. Let me describe my own experience of asambranyada samadhi. I'll open it up as it happened. Maybe you will be able to understand what I mean by the word asambranyada samadhi, or what Patanjali means by the word asambranyada samadhi. Even talking about samadhi, listening about samadhi, contemplating about samadhi is such a powerful experience. Please understand, sometimes that need, urge for the goal, suddenly they open up some path. Open up some path. Actually, when you have that, when you are possessed by the goal, whatever you do will become path. If I see the history of many enlightened saints, there are 63 Saiva saints, Nayanmars in South India. If I see their life, they were just, every day morning they will pluck flowers and make garland and put it on the Shivalinga. That's all. The path itself did not seem too big, but that they are possessed by the goal. Shraddha Vivecha. As I was telling yesterday, that Nachiketa's statement, Nachiketa's experience, Shraddha Vivecha. When you are possessed by Shraddha, whatever you do becomes path. Some of you might have heard this incident happened in my life, my experience with Arunagiri Yogeshwara, a great incarnation, Shiva himself, a great avatar Purusha, Shiva himself. I'll describe only few things, few parts of that incident, connecting with this sutra, how the asambranyada samadhi happened in me when I connected with him, I had his darshan and experienced him. Maybe around the age of 11, during summer vacation, I was playing inside the temple, backside. If you have visited Arunachala temple, you may be able to relate to the place where I am saying. Backside the temple, one small 4-pillared mandapam, 4-pillared hall. One young sadhu came out of that mandapam. That mandapam had a small kind of a opening, or I was thinking it was an opening. It was a small cave. One sadhu came out. I saw this sadhu. He was very bright, shining, maybe 30 to 35, and well built, young sannyasi. It was immediate click. A strong connection, very strong connection. I just know I belong to him, or he belongs to me. Very strong connection. I can say that falling in love, or raising in love, whatever word you want to use, you can use. Very strong connection. Sometimes when you see people, suddenly you fall in love. And you know, you may bring all kinds of reasoning. No, I am already married. I am this, I am that. You can bring all kinds of your logic. No, see the age difference. And you can bring all conditionings. But you are in love, nothing can be done. You may keep distance because of all these conditionings. The social conditioning, and you have to behave as yourself. And there are so many restrictions. There are so many, the morality or social conditioning, whatever you call it. But heart doesn't bother about which country you belong to, which race you belong to, what is your morality, what is your discipline, decency. Heart doesn't care for all those things. Maybe your action or your logic cares for all these things. Heart doesn't care, it just falls in love, that's all. It was such a strong falling in love. Every day, I'll come and sit there with him. Morning till evening, he'll be talking, sitting. Sometimes I wonder what I used to talk. If I recall, there was nothing much, just sitting and chatting only. And you don't know why you are sitting together, but sitting together was such a pleasant, joyful experience. I was sitting together. It's like spending time together. He was also very happy with me. And he will eat whatever I bring. He will bring some fruits or something for me to eat. We will be talking, some experiences, these, that. I can say that Mundakopanishad, I did not complete that story. That story says that when the small bird, like this, traveling this way, this way, this way, this way, suddenly it really had a bitter experience, one strong bitter experience. It decides no more eating fruits. It just shuts its mouth. Without opening its mouth, it just travels towards the bigger bird. When it goes near the bigger bird, nearer and nearer, suddenly it realizes it is losing its individuality. It is losing its individuality. After a few minutes, it feels it is just a shadow of that bird. Actually, when you are really deeply in love with somebody, you can experience, when you touch that body, you won't feel it is a two-person. You just know it is your own extension. Your extension is in that body. You are just extension of your extension is that body. That small bird feels its very extension is that big bird, golden bird. After a few minutes he feels it is not even his own extension. That bird's extension is he. And after a few seconds he feels there is no extension, he is just a shadow. After a few seconds, there is not even a shadow, only that golden bird exists. It was only illusion that I was an individual. The different levels of feeling connection. In Vaishnava tradition, they explain Salokya Mukti, Samibhya Mukti, Sarubhya Mukti, Sayujya Mukti, the 4 states of liberation. Please understand, 4 states of liberation. In Vaishnava tradition they explain. First, when the bird feels, I am connected to him, I belong to him, it is Salokya Mukti, living in his loka, living in his frequency. When he feels, no, he is my very extension, it is Samibhya Mukti, the liberation which happens just by his nearness. When he says, when the bird experiences, no, I am his very form, I am his very form, I am his very form, I am just his shadow, I am not an individual identity, then it's called Sarubhya Mukti, his own form, Sarubhya Mukti. When the small bird realizes, I never existed, it is only he who was existing, it was just an illusion that I existed, it is called Sayujya Mukti. I can say it was a strong feeling connection, just like how that bird felt, very own extension. I felt with that sadhu, that my very own extension. It was almost like Samibhya Mukti. First when I met him, then it slowly developed into Sarubhya Mukti, that same Rupa. I used to play with him, go wherever he calls. Sometime he will take me to the temple inside, sometime he will take me to the hill, sometime here, there, he will take me to different places. Understand? It was such a strong feeling connection. What Ramakrishna experienced with Kali, that Sambranyada Samadhi, I have started experiencing that. Even when I am not physically around him, even when I go back to the house, late night I will go back to the house because they will close the temple. By the time they close the temple, they will vacate everybody. They will vacate everybody. And when I go back to the house also, I will be sitting in the house and waiting when it will become again morning 4 o'clock, so that I can rush to the temple to see him.
Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Offer your gratitude to the lotus feet of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Pratyaksha Pada Puja is a rare opportunity in a lifetime to express your surrender and gratitude directly at the feet of the Master, daily at 7 a.m. IST. You can register for e-Pada Puja online. You can receive individual darshan and blessings after the puja. You can send your blessings request to ntv@nithyananda.org or call 91-974-22-03311. Make the best use of this rare opportunity to be in the space of the living enlightened Master.
I'll give you some of the sacred sentiments from these great devotees like Kabir, and define the experience of bhakti very beautifully. Bhakti is described by Kabir. The bhakti winds in a delicate way. On this path, there is no asking and no not asking. The ego simply disappears. The moment you touch him, the joy of looking for him is so immense that you just dive in and coast around like a fish in water. If anyone needs a head, the lover leaps up to offer his. Yesterday, one of our Maharishi was asking, what's the difference between the non-suffering and Vyakulata, yearning? Kabir gives answer for this, that question. See, yesterday I was describing, base of bhakti is non-suffering. She was asking, how can we differentiate the non-suffering and Vyakulata, yearning? Please understand, in yearning, Vyakulata, you will never have hatred towards the Master or God. In suffering, you will have demands, and when the demands are not met, you will have a deep hatred, pain, you can't forgive him. Not only that, even if he meets your demands, you will feel, oh, I am bound by him. I have to be independent of him. You will have a hatred to him. I have seen people, if I don't meet their need, they have hatred for me. If I say it's okay, all right, I will do what you want, even then, no, I am dependent on you. I don't want you to do that. Again, they have the hatred. Understand the difference between the non-suffering and Vyakulata. With Vyakulata, you will always melt you. With suffering, you will try to melt the other person, try to change the other person. So non-suffering is different, Vyakulata is different. Please understand. In Vyakulata, there will never be any hatred. Yearning, there will never be any hatred. But in suffering, you will start hating the other person, the pain. You will start abusing, blaming the other person. So understanding of the non-suffering and Vyakulata is very important. Here, Kabir very clearly says, there is no asking and no not asking. No asking, no not asking. In Vyakulata, you neither ask, and it is not that you never ask. With suffering, you ask, and even if he fulfills, you are not fulfilled. And I have seen the arrogant people, they don't even want to receive when I give. No, it is not necessary. Because I begged, you are giving. I don't want to take that. Fools. With suffering, suffering is always based on arrogance. And Vyakulata is based on humbleness. Here the Kabir is describing Vyakulata. No asking and no not asking means you don't ask, and it is not it does not mean you don't accept when it is showered on you. It is such a deep humbleness and passiveness, a deep patience. See, with Vyakulata, you don't feel he is human, equal to you. But with suffering, you start feeling he is equal to you. That is why always I tell people, if you are suffering, you don't have love for me. You bring me to your level. You try to bring me to your level. Your arrogance, you try to raise, you try to think you are equivalent to me, and you bring me to your level. With Vyakulata, you always know he is ultimate. And you just only try to disappear into me. Try to dissolve into the Master or God. The bhakti path winds in a delicate way. On this path, there is no asking and no not asking. Because when you are in love with the Master, when you are in love with the God, when you are in love, not just for Him, you are ready to sacrifice for anyone. You feel everything is worthy of sacrifice. The extreme love, the extreme sacred sentiment, touching Guru's feet. Touching Guru's feet also. In the ecstasy, you always feel like offering yourself at his feet. There is no logical reason for why Guru Puja is done, why people touch Guru's feet. It is emotional feeling connection. For some people, it looks like, why should I do it? For some people, it is life. They can't live without it. I know, for millions of my disciples, morning satsang is much more important than eating food. This is bliss dose. Morning sitting in the Pada Puja, or the morning satsang is a powerful bliss dose. Life is life itself. So please understand, it is the individual's emotion. I also wanted to tell you one more thing. Do all this only if you feel intensely connected to it, not otherwise. It should not be done as a ritual. See, as far as yoga is concerned, whether you want it or not, it has to be done. Because you are working on body. But when the Guru Puja comes, it is in your mind. Your mind itself should feel it. Out of ecstasy and joy, you should be pouring it. So there is no logical reason. What is the reason we do pujas at Guru's feet? Why do people want to touch the Guru's feet? There is no logical reason. Living around the master. Oh God. Living around the master, catching the master, missing the master, abusing the master. 3 different dimensions. Just this basic 2-3 truths. 1, all scriptures, all literature, all method of teachings can only inspire you, cannot give experience. Understand? It's the first law. All books, all DVDs, when I say all, capital letter ALL, including mine, books, cassettes, DVDs, everything can only create inspiration in you, but cannot give experience. Experience can be transmitted. It's like, you see, experience is like a lamp. Only from a burning lamp light you can pick up, catch. Only from a lamp you can light a lamp. Only from a lamp you can light a lamp. Same way, the Jivan Mukti is transmitted only from a living body to living body. Living body to living body. If that body has to catch Jivan Mukti, it has to catch from a same material source which is living enlightenment. Please understand, I am describing very clearly the need of the master. If that body made out of muscles and the mind made out of thoughts, if it needs to catch living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti fire, it has to catch it only from another one body which is living enlightenment of the same frequency, means like a same flesh and bones. Only from that you can catch. Be very clear, Mahavatar Baba cannot give you living enlightenment. Please understand, I am making a very strong statement, but truth. He cannot give you Jivan Mukti. He can only give you inspiration, experience, some glimpse. But if he wants to give Jivan Mukti, he has to guide you to a person who is in the physical body. In the physical body. Ramakrishna, or Ramana Maharshi, or Mahavatar Baba, or Osho, or Jai Krishnamurti, anybody. They are all still in the cosmic plane. Why, you know? With whoever they committed when they are in the physical body. For example, if you are there, if you were when Ramakrishna was there, and you had directly connection with him, and he blessed you, he passed away, still you are here, then he will be there to take care of you. But no new addition is possible after the body is left. No new addition is possible. Now, Mahavatar Baba, all of you I think understand what I am saying. All of you understand what I am saying clearly? Now, if you are seeker, starting to pray to Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, they can guide you to a living master. That's all. They themselves will not be able to give, because it has to be transmitted from this plane, from flesh and bone. That is why the need of living master again and again and again comes back. Understand? That is why no huge organization is able to own spirituality than a living master. Seekers are around me. The reason is, it has to be, it can be transmitted only from flesh to flesh. The person who is living Jivan Mukti through his muscle memory and muscles. See, I will be living Jivan Mukti without muscles after I leave the body. I will be living Jivan Mukti, that is not a problem. But because there is no muscles, I will not be able to transmit it to the person who is with muscles. If I initiate you now and give you the assurance, only then I can handle you even if I leave the body. So if you had assurance from Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi or Osho, somebody, when they are in the flesh, then you don't need to go to new master. It may not be needed. But even then usually they guide to a living master, because living around the master is not only living enlightenment, it's a joy. It's an ecstasy. It's a way of life. For that reason they guide. Understand thoroughly. Otherwise, if you have not had connection with them physically, when they were in the body, even they can't do anything. Mahavatar Baba will not be able to give you enlightenment or the spiritual experience. He can only guide you. That is the reason why still that living master's necessary is not replaced at all. It's not replaced. Still, the necessity for living master is there when the whole thing started by Shiva millions of years ago. The only thing which is not yet outdated, which can never be outdated, is necessity of a living master. In the world, anything can be outdated. Like when these products all started, it was all manual. Now, we don't need human beings to create products. There are machines which produces much better machines than themselves. Do you know? There are machines which constantly produces machines much better than the mother machine. It updates itself and produces new machineries. So after 10 years, I really feel you will be paid if you are ready to keep quiet. You don't need to go to job. If you just keep quiet without disturbing anybody, you will be paid. Because the need for human beings and your work will be outdated. Only if you are in the research and development field, your services may be required. If you are just in a working field, your services may not be required. The R&D people are going to tell you, now just keep quiet, eat and sleep, we will pay you. We have automatized everything. If you don't create any trouble, that's enough for us. Now the whole job, the employment industry, this field is going to become like this in 10 years. You will see. Because the working idea is getting outdated. Same way, thousands of things are getting outdated and replaced. But the living master can never be. The necessity can never be outdated or replaced by anything. Anything. Because when he is radiating through his flesh and bones, only then it can be transmitted to the person who is in flesh and bones. You just catch it. I can say, reading thousands of books, listening to thousands satsangs, even that cannot be equated. Sitting with me very deeply, passively, when I am doing my activities, when I am in action, not just teaching, when I am training these brahmacharis, training these brahmacharinis, or doing what I wanted to do, what all I wanted to do, not just teaching. See, when I am teaching, if you sit passively and listen, you will have these great truths enter into your system. But whatever I am doing, even those moments, if you just passively sit and listen, suddenly you will see, you are catching it with that vidarka, you are catching the right intention. Even my shouting, with such a deep compassion happening, you will look deeper than the layer which is seen by a normal person. You will look the whole picture. You will see the whole picture, understand? Anything, if you learn to see the whole picture, you are enlightened. That's all. Learning to see the whole picture is enlightenment. Learning to look at the whole picture is enlightenment. It's like a master is nothing but a conscious ball, breathing consciousness. Any moment you get around his breathing space or his nearness, constantly your muscles gets programmed to live the same thing which he is living. Understand this one example. How you create your body. How you create your body. First, I'll start with the example of fish. Fish. When you are a fish, you look around, whatever you see will become a samskara in you. See, hear, anything happens through your 5 senses will become samskara. So the fish may see some tortoise, some bigger fishes, different animals. It will just go around. So when it dies, all the samskaras it acquired will be kept in front of him. Tortoise, bigger fish, everything. This guy will have a choice which body to choose. So naturally, if this guy is felt, tortoise is the best animal I have seen and experienced in my life. One important thing, even if that guy sees the human being, he can't take that big jump. He can't conceive. See, many times you can see, you will feel, I am beyond your brain. You can't conceive. Suddenly you will see, oh God, no, this fellow is beyond my brain. I can't conceive. I can't limit. So, yeah, fish, even if he sees the a human being and records it, he can't take that jump. So he will see the possible jump, best possible jump which he can make. So what naturally will think, oh, see, I can live only inside water. This tortoise can live even outside water. Come on, let me take the tortoise jump. He will take a jump to become tortoise. Then when he is in the water and in the land, when he goes around, naturally he will collect some more samskaras. He will see the crocodile, he will see the pig, he will see the cow, he will see buffalo, he will see all these things. Then again when he dies, all the cards will be in front of him. So naturally what he will think? Oh, I think pig has a bigger body, better ability to eat, and doesn't have the big shell which I am carrying. I think that will be much more comfortable body than this body. This fellow takes a jump to become pig. When he is pig, then again he collects different samskaras. Now he can take the jump. Then he takes the jump of human being. Understand? This is the way I have described very roughly. This is the way of Vishnu's incarnation. Matsavadara, first fish incarnation, then tortoise incarnation, then pig incarnation, then half animal and half man, Narasimha, lion man incarnation. This is the way the incarnations evolve. Understand one more thing. Sometime if you take a too big jump, you will take birth as handicapped. Or you will not have mind, only body. If you have only human body and do not have a clear thinking system, be very clear, you have taken a big jump. You have taken a big jump. When you take a big jump, too big jump, you will take, it's okay, human body is enough, I don't need a human mind. So when you take a quantum jump, full jump, sometime, you may not, you will not be able to take a strong mind or a very sharp mind, but even then you take a choice, it's okay, I'll have a human body. Artistic child, many of them. Many artistic child are big jump, long jump. They say it's okay, human body is enough, no need for full-fledged human mind, just an animal mind is enough. Because, you see, they know the whole human life is best life, they think. But they can't afford to create the human brain, human mind. They have only some animal mind. It's okay, this much of mind is enough, that body is okay, we will manage with it. They'll try to match it and take a jump. Anyhow, understand this theory. So what this means, whatever you see gets recorded into your system, and next time you take the jump towards that. Now, enlightened being, Avatara Purusha, is the better, bigger, ultimate species than a human being. So naturally when you see him, when you are around him, when you feel connected, that memory gets recorded in you. That's why I tell you, I can be sure 100%, either this will be your last Janma, or if you want to take birth, you can have only one more Janma, that's all. Not more than that. Not more than that. Because when you take the one more Janma, that time itself, because the cards will be spread in front of you, I will be also one more card, master card. I'll also be one more card. See, before you get your Visa card, there will be MasterCard. So naturally, which one you will pick up? Because that will be very shining and bright. These 3 months, if you are given a choice to create a life on your own, you will simply reproduce my life. You may not wear this cloth, that is different. But what I am saying, the inner space. In your life, the best inner space you have seen is me only. You know it. You know it. Sometimes you may not be able to connect through proper relationship, like you may not be able to think that you should live around me permanently or this, that and all is second, that and all is social. But I am the ultimate space which you wanted to create in you, as a no doubt. So naturally, which one you will pick up? You will pick up the MasterCard only. That is why I am saying, either this is the last Janma for you. When you leave the body, you will decide, come on, let's relax, and you will relax. If you decide at all, rarely, no, come on, let me take one more body, then the options will be, so many cards will be put in front of in your table. The MasterCard will be naturally very bright, shining. Simply you will pick up this card only. So naturally you will land as an Avatara Purusha. You will land as a Jivan Mukta in the body. So no question of having one more birth. So this is a last or only one more maximum. Understand? Living around the master, your muscles catches this memory. One more thing, even if you don't meditate or don't live enlightenment after this session, after this LBE, your muscles will not forget me. Your intellect can forget me, try, but your muscles cannot forget me. When the muscles get heated up, you see, during the death it will get heated up because of the pain. Because of the pain it will be boiled. The moment it gets boiled, I'll open up. The moment it gets boiled, first thing will open up is me. Means the memory about me in you. The experience of me in you. That is the reason the tradition, Vedic tradition, insists so much on living around the master.
Nitya Kriya, restoring Hatha Yoga to the world. A series of healing yogic processes revealed by Paramahamsa Nithyananda to care and cure for diseases and disorders. Practice Nitya Kriya and awaken your Kundalini energy. To find out more, visit www.nithyananda.org/nitya-kriyas.
It's a wonderful question. They asked me, when I said that when you are in love with somebody, you experience the other person as God, then when we are not in love with that person, he loses the divinity or what? Understand? Nobody loses the divinity. You lose the ability to recognize the divinity. Yesterday I made an important statement. When you are in love with the master, he will not only you will feel he is God, and all miracles which you feel or expect should happen in the presence of God will happen in front of him, in his presence. You will see all those things happening. But when that love is lost, when you don't have that love, you won't see those miracles happening in his presence. You may be the same person and he will be the same person, but those miracles will not be happening. Somebody asked me, why? Then the master loses enlightenment or what? No. He doesn't lose. You lose the ability to recognize or connect with that enlightenment. When people ask me, are you God? I tell them it depends on you. It depends on you. I am constantly available, open. If you want to connect with me as a teacher, you can connect with me and carry the knowledge. If you want to connect with me in the level of master, you can have initiation. See, only master can initiate, teacher can't initiate. Teacher can teach, master can initiate. If you connect with me at the level of God or divine ultimate energy, you will carry the experience itself, not just initiation. How much your inner space is made available for me, that's all. See, if you relate just intellectually, you will carry the knowledge. If you relate with a little bit of emotion, little bit of love, you will carry the initiation. Means whatever I can't express through words also will go into you. Like the whole software will be sent, transmitted. If you are able to connect with a being deeply, you don't need initiation. The very experience will be transmitted. It depends on the person, to what level he connects, to what level he experiences. I always tell people, bhakti, or the feeling connected to the master, is such an ultimate thing. Never miss it if at all you got it in your life. Never miss it. It is too costly. It is too much to miss it. Do not, even if you miss your things in the outer world, it is okay. If you miss your ideas which you carry in the inner world, that is also okay. In English there is a proverb. If you lose wealth, nothing is lost. If you lose your health, something is lost. If you lose your character, everything is lost. I think even if you lose your character, nothing is lost. Only if you lose the connection with the master, everything is lost. That is such a deep thing, ultimate blessing. Never miss it if at all you got it. If you feel that constant feeling connected has happened in you, do not miss it at any cost. See, throw away any idea which comes in between you and him. Anything can be lost, but not this feeling connection. People come and tell me. Sometimes, even your ideas about morality can create gap. Very simple things. Your ideas about morality also may stand sometime in between. Anything can be lost, but not the connection with the master. Because if that one thing is kept alive, so many things can happen in you. So many things can happen. The possibility is available. The doors are open. The bridge is not burnt. Still the bridge is alive. With the feeling connected, if that is taken away, whatever you may try, nothing is going to work. I always tell people, by begging $1, you will never become a billionaire. Have you seen anybody becoming billionaire just by begging $1? No. Same way, there is nobody who achieved enlightenment by meditating every day. Begging $1 is like meditating every day 10 minutes. And what will you achieve? Only a master writes will. The enlightenment is achieved. That is why so much of emphasis is put on the master's presence and the Guru Kripa in our traditions. Even though few people exploited those concepts, sitting in the chair, sitting in the seat without becoming enlightened, those concepts can't be rejected because that has helped too many people. Understand? Only one Ramakrishna became enlightened using that Kali Murti, 3 feet Kali Murti. And we spent crores of rupee creating the temple and maintaining the temple. But I always tell people, it is worthy. Your 1000 temple is worthy of one Ramakrishna. If there is a possibility for one Ramakrishna, means build thousands of temples. Nothing wrong. In India, that is why constantly every street will have a temple. Temples are getting erected, getting installed. Because even if one Ramakrishna happens, it's a big blessing. One Ramakrishna is worthy of 200 Kali temples. Nothing wrong. There are three kinds of personalities. One who can intellectually connect, but will take a lot of time to emotionally feel connected. With anything, he can intellectually understand, he can intellectually relate, but he can't emotionally have the feeling connection doesn't happen in him. Other kinds of second variety, they can connect emotionally immediately. They will straight away have the feeling connection. One sight, love at the sight. They can have that strong feeling connection, but very difficult to intellectually analyze and understand. Intellectually they will be a little dull. The more energy will be through the heart. This is the second kind of people. The third, very balanced. The intellect and emotion, both will be parallel lines in them. They will be very straight. They can connect intellectually and experience emotionally. They are called being level people. Ultimate thing a man can have, feeling connected to a living master. Anything can be sacrificed for that, but for no reason that should be sacrificed. Anything can be sacrificed to have that feeling connection with the master, but for no reason that feeling connection should be sacrificed. I've seen, I always tell people, actually, I'm an uncompromising master. I don't compromise. Any decision I take or any stand I take, I don't compromise. There is only one spot where you can bend me. That is, when you send me a feel that if I stand on my own stand, the feeling connection may last. Then I slowly bend, all right, it's okay. I bend. Otherwise, nothing else can bend me. Nothing. People here around me, they know. Nothing can bend me. For nothing I bend or compromise or alter my decision. Only when I see that poor guy may lose the feeling connection, then I bend. If you want to bend the masters, this is the only thing you can bend. You can't use anything else. This is the only point where you can blackmail them. If you send a feel, if you are standing like that, I think I am going to lose the connection with you. I am not going to feel connected anymore. Then they come down, all right, what to do?
Nithyananda Radio Podcast, Life Solutions on the Go, with enlightening and entertaining segments each week in the form of breakthrough talks, meditation techniques, interviews, and more. Nithyananda-radio.podomatic.com.
When your Kundalini is awakened and the feeling connection happens between you and the master, the distance between you and him disappears. I am sitting here, people are sitting around the world, somewhere here and there, thousands of miles away. See the effect of the presence. Feeling connection. Hand moves here, the vibration starts in San Jose. How many miles distance? And it's not that it is happening because we have a modern day technology. No. It can happen just by the remembrance. It's possible. Today I'll share a few truths about feeling connection with the Master. Feeling connection with the Master is the subtlest, best gift can ever happen to human being. For the fruit to be completely ripened, it needs to be connected with the tree. For the child to grow completely, it needs to be connected with the mother through umbilical cord. For anything to blossom, bloom, it needs connection with the highest possibility which it should become. If a child should become complete grown-up human being before the birth, the complete full grown-up human body, it needs to retain its connection through umbilical cord with the mother. Only then the complete body is created. And once the complete body is created, you may not need the physical umbilical cord connection. Once the fruit is completely ripened, once it carries a seed which can become one more tree, the physical connection with the mother tree may not be required. But till that happens, the connection is inevitable. Connection is important. Vidarka, the feeling connection with the Master, one of the ultimate gift happens to human body who has grown at least to a certain level in that subtle understanding. Only they smell even the presence of the Master. Only they have the courage to enter into the great feeling connection, because feeling connection with Master will just make you as an enlightened being. Lot of things with which your ignorance survives, lot of things with which your mind thrives, lot of things on which your suffering is built will be taken away from you. The problem is ignorance is such, it will constantly try to retain itself and it will try to have a hold over you, constantly trying its best to move you out of the Master, feeling connection with the Master in all possible ways. The worst Maya, Mara, devil is losing the feeling connection with the Master. What Buddhism calls as Mara, what Christianity calls as devil, what Hinduism calls as Maya, all this is nothing but losing connection with the Master. So devils do its job by making you constantly lose the connection with the living Master. Ramakrishna says very beautifully, whenever somebody abuses your Master in front of you, Ramakrishna, such a great incarnation, who always radiated compassion, even when people tortured him physically, he was radiating compassion. He was showering love and compassion. Such a highly evolved Tyagi, even when he was asked about what to do when people abuse Master, he is so strong, he says, cut his tongue or move out of his place. I tell you, no need to go for cutting the tongue of the people who abuse the Master, but move out of that place. Do not allow the devil to work on you. Do not allow the Mara to work on you. Do not be carried away by the illusion which really appears as solid, almost reality, but almost not reality. And sometimes Ramakrishna takes a very strong stand. Somebody asks him, Parents and family is important, or my spiritual seeking and enlightenment is important. He says, for the sake of God and enlightenment, you can sacrifice the family and parents. If the parents come on the way for your enlightenment, if family comes on the way to your enlightenment, dump it. Go for enlightenment. It's very strange. Person like Ramakrishna taking this kind of strong stance, but there are few places masters take a strong, uncompromising stand. I tell you, losing the feeling connection with master is too strong. Lose, too big miss. Let it not happen to you in your life. Even the people who cherish enmity and abuse master, I tell you very clearly, even many parts of their own organ, many molecules in their own system will not accept it, will not accept what they are doing, will not tolerate what they are doing. They will all be resisting. They will all carry the sacred, great, amazing, joyful, intense memory of the time and experience they had around master. The sweetness still remains fresh, alive inside. But these guys, maybe out of ignorance or arrogance or some other vested interest, go on suppressing those beautiful great memories. Just to suppress those great beautiful memories, suppress the voice of that organs, suppress the voice of that molecules, they raise their voice louder and louder in abusing master. Just they want to avoid that part, suppress it, put it in unconscious. But unfortunately, no voice is unheard or suppressed by your own consciousness. Naturally, does not die down. So that molecules which are suppressed, that organs whose voices are not heard, naturally protest, start non-cooperation movement. That's what I call physical and mental diseases. I tell you two things. If you have not lost the feeling connection with the master, don't allow the people who abuse master around you. Do not entertain them in any way. Retain your feeling connection with master, which is ultimate gift. I tell you, connecting with the things which you are not unconsciously, which are lower than you, is ego. Connecting with the things which you are not consciously, which are higher than you, is devotion, feeling connection, the trust, the ability to do prana pratishta. So this ability to do prana pratishta is antidote for egoism. So understand, if you have not lost the feeling connection with master, don't lose. It's a precious gift, too precious gift, almost like a lamp, small lamp kept in your heart. Don't allow the cyclone of sensationalism to put it off. Keep it alive, very sacred, very precious. And for some reason, vested interests are unconsciously, if you have lost feeling connection with master, don't do that same thing to others. Don't go around and disturb others with arka. It's a worst sin. Not only that, the more you try to abuse the master, more of your own organs and molecules will resist and take revenge on you. That is what I call incurring karma by themselves. I won't be cursing. I will not do anything wrong to them. But their own molecules, their own organs, their own system will be protesting them and enter into non-cooperation movement, and naturally it will become physical and mental diseases. Finally, not just ordinary physical death, falling into the worst unconsciousness means the lower level of existence, which is a too big punishment for the casual, time-passing entertainment which these guys are doing. So, protect yourself and protect yourself if you have not lost your vidarka, by strengthening it. And if you lost it, unfortunately, don't disturb others' feeling connection, others' vidarka. And if you keep quiet, at least your organs and molecules at some point will reclaim the great beautiful experience of vidarka and experience of raising in love with the Master, and the possibility to reclaim the great feeling connection exists. So reclaim it. Reclaim your feeling connection with the Master. Importance of feeling connection. How the feeling connection to something which is higher than you nullifies all the constant harassment you go through from your body and mind. Please understand. Just before the satsang, I was reading a question from a devotee. The person is telling, Swamiji, after all, a physical pain is so solid, it constantly reminds itself. It is so strong. How to unclutch from it? It constantly reminds itself to us. Understand? There are problems which may not be solved by unclutching, will be solved by feeling connection. That is why I always warn you, people with whom you feel connected, you should be very careful. If you are friendly with a person depressed, I tell you, knowingly or unknowingly, that person will vomit the depression on you. If somebody is depressed, boycott that person. No, I am giving you as a spiritual instruction. Don't ever think you will show and shower your compassion on that person, shower your love on that person, get that person out of depression. Try, you will only become dirty and come back. You are not that strong. If you are that strong, then you don't even need to talk to the person. Your presence will get that person out of depression. No, I am telling you really, because a lot of this effort of getting the other person out of depression goes on all over. I wanted all of you to know the problems which you can't heal, the pains which you can't get out by unclutching, get out only by feeling connection with something higher than you, either God or Guru, and ensure that you don't have feeling connection, you are not entertaining friendliness with people who are depressed or the patterns of depression. See, the people with patterns of depression are arrogant, I tell you. It is not ignorance or innocence, it is a crime. It is a crime, arrogant. Because they are arrogant, they will naturally infiltrate you, even if you spend little time with them. I always warn, there's a beautiful teaching from Sri Ramakrishna. I always warn the disciples, warn the followers. If your spouse is in depression, don't try to get her out by yourself. If your friend is in depression, don't try to get him out by yourself. He will only put the depression mental setup in you. Help them to feel connected to something which is higher than them, to God or Guru. Stop with that. You don't try, you don't meddle with it. Even people who are living in their houses, in their places, have started building a strong feeling connection. and started raising themselves to the level much more than a disciple, the devotee, disciple and all. It is just your ability to feel connect and experience these truths and radiate it in your life. That's it. Nothing else. A living practicing healer. Please understand, living practicing healer is continuously in entanglement with me. He may be wherever he is. A living practicing healer is continuously in entangle with me. This is what I call physiology of feeling connection. A practicing healer, the healer who lives whatever I am teaching, as long as he retains a feeling connection, the very physiology becomes different. Entanglement means two persons falling in tune with same thought. Entrainment means two persons falling in tune with the same idea. Enlightenment means two persons uniting beyond ideas. When you unclutch, you are in entangle with me. You are in entanglement with me. This again opens a huge door. Then is the thoughts of a healer going to affect us? I say yes. That is why I am telling you, go to a person only who is thoughtless and beyond mind. Receive only from enlightened being. And all my healers, during the moment of healing, because they are entangled with me, they represent me, and it is equivalent to you receiving healing directly from me. You don't need to worry at all, doubt at all about my healers. Understand? This is the physiology of feeling connection. When you have a feeling connection, your very physiology is different. And feeling connection has its own physiology. When you have feeling connection, your physiology is different. Feeling connection itself has its own physiology. It's the most powerful way. Entangling yourself with an enlightened being is the most easiest and powerful way to raise yourself to the higher level and get enlightened. I can give you a simple technique to have entanglement with me. Just morning, sit in the satsang, that's all. Every day morning satsang itself is entanglement with me. Understand? The science of entanglement, entrainment and enlightenment proves the spiritual healing. See, in the entanglement level, physical healing happens. In the entrainment level, mental transformation happens. In the enlightenment level, conscious explosion happens. If you are in the entanglement level, just physical healing happens. If you are in the entrainment level, means muscle memory, doing what I am saying, the transformation happens. If you are in the enlightenment level, just melting, the very mystical doors of life opens and the enlightenment conscious explosion happens. In the morning satsang, the more important thing is feeling connection. When you sit and listen, you see, when you sit and listen, so many things will be clear to you that beyond my words, something else is happening. Something else is being done. So please understand that something else is satsang. Satsang is not pravachan. In Sanskrit we have two words. Pravachana is discourse. Satsang is sitting with the truth. Every morning I am asking you to sit in satsang, to sit with me with a deep feeling connection, not just to listen to the words. The words are immaterial. Whether you listen or not is not a problem at all. Satsang is the main thing. Sitting with the truth is the main thing. For the growth of consciousness, the sacred sentiments, the ability to feel connected, the ability to meld, the ability to merge with the divine, the ability to radiate humbleness, the ability to feeling connected. When that misses, even the meditation and the extraordinary powers and experiences you receive only makes you more egoistic. It only makes you more egocentric, more arrogant, more abusive. The power of feeling connection, the devotion. Understand, feeling connection is the ultimate technique. You don't need any other solution, method to get out of any problem. Problems of planets, disease, negativity, black magic, anything. Feeling connection is enough. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 097422033311. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing.
discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nithyananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.